Alright, hi everyone, good to have you here. Davis here, of course. And we're going to have a thing. So, first of all, it's the first year of me being, the Twitch partner, right? It's not like partner, but yeah, it's first year since I've got the, possibility to, like well, I don't know how to explain this. The Polish language on Twitch is a bit different, but yeah, but as always, I'm going to first and for all, write down the thing. Mm, continue on meal and on Miosha and food. In our illustration. Okay, I'm just going to send out the links real quick. Please do give me a minute. I might not be able to see what you're saying particularly right now, but Moriarty. Okay, so I guess. Okay, let's send those here. That. 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 Okay. What? What happened? Oh, come on. Okay, I guess Discord just died on me. But whatever. Alrighty. Let's, without any further ado, let me, and please change the chat to the live chat. Let's pop out the window here. Let's pop out the window here. And as always, we are going to continue doing our stuff. So in general concept, we're going to just, continue drawing a meal. I think we're going to try to finish Fubuki 2. Of course, there are going to be changes that will have to be done, but first and foremost, as always, let's turn on the music. Okay. And folks, yeah, we're continuing to draw. It's Thursday. We're on a good roll. We've been so far streaming for most of the plan. Considering my issues to stay, to stay. So, yeah, tomorrow I'm actually going to go to work a bit later because I'm going to apply for passport. That's crazy. Also, I've got a couple new things actually. I've got a new multi-tool. I'm not going to show the mark, I guess. Okay, there ain't nothing here. So yeah, it's slightly different, I have to say. It has like more sturdy things. It has like a bunch of other tools, but also like those should have like a bit, I feel like those should have a bit better way to pull them out. But I can say that, for example, the file is a bit better, if you say so. The knife is, it's sharp. I know for sure the knife is sharp. There's a second knife, I guess? It might be a razor or something. Oh well. Yeah, some of those things really are difficult to pull out. You know, just some typical, you know, typical for stuff like this things. I have to say, I don't know why, but I'm one of those folks that are like, you know, I'm one of those folks who are like kind of need a multi-tool. I know it's like, oh boo-hoo, because like who really needs the multi-tool, but personally I find it like kind of like a good necessity to have in your pocket at least. It does. Also, it has like locking mechanism. My previous multi-tool didn't have it. My multi-tool didn't have it. Yeah, I have to say it's like pretty good, you know, thing. I've got a like, you know, supermarket kind of thing. I guess it's, you know, it's good enough for, you know, just some simple things. It's supposed to be like a camping thing. I've got a bunch of older multi-tools. I have like one also with an axe, which is pretty good too. The axe works ever so slightly. I've actually broke my desk with it last time when I was exchanging the desk, and I had to get rid of the old one. The old one was damaged and there was no need for it, so I just turned it into something useful, into a you know, into a dadgum firewood. It was pretty good. It wasn't that hard either. I mean, it was like, you know, it was like an actual wood desk. I've got now actual wood desk, like you can actually feel the thing. It's like the like the top of the desk was pretty heavy itself. It's very sturdy desk. I really like it. It's not like any of those like automatic desks that you hit a button and it's like starting to lift off. Those are useless. Like, come on, if I want to stand, I'm going to stand. I'm going to stand waiting for my coffee at the kitchen if I'd like to. Although I guess I kind of feel that it could have some kind of like usage, right? I feel like I could, you know, have like something to like hold on, or like if I would like get up, I would be able to, you know, use other things and whatsoever. But you know, is it right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes my eyes are really messed up. Also, realistic proportions are so weird that if you look at them, at first they are going to seem not really realistic, but then like after a couple like looks at it, you're going to like, oh okay, yeah, that's good. Or like if you start measuring out of nowhere, the moment you like take the first measure, it just pops in to be like good. But I've learned to still kind of go with the measurement, because like, oh, okay, it might be just me covering portions, but if I'm going to actually measure those things, it's going to be, you know, good. But then also like there's a probability that I'm also, you know, like covering something and I'm not seeing the full image of it. So yeah, that's the thing. Always take your measurements, folks. Always take your measurements. Okay. So I wanted Mio to like kind of hold Fubuki's hand in kind of like possessive mother, I guess. Like kind of in like desire mother, if anything. I guess keeping it like that will be okay. I remember why Twitch chat is so weird, because like for some reason it blinks, because they're at the top of the chat there are like you know, create your clip and whatnot, you know. So whenever I'm looking at it, it's so difficult for me not to like look at it, because I see the movement. Because usually whenever I'm like streaming, I'm like, I have my chat windows like here behind the camera, right? So basically, whenever I'm looking at down, I have my head positioned in such a way I see every single movement on the chat. So whenever there's like a movement on the chat, I'm looking up to check the thing. And like the Twitch, by changing those like little things, are actually, you know, making things difficult. So that's that. Imagine. Again. Oh my. I think I'm going to cover this part with hers, because that's like the back, and I thought about like showing the, you know, the the thing, but what was it called? Spatula, I think. And actually, let's make it even different, because that's not really good. It will like flop. So we are going to do something like that. Then we're going to bounce it up, and it's going to go down. There we go. And the breast is kind of like this, but over here it's touching the thing, because like her ribcage would be going like that, kind of. So it's going to actually go with the ribcage like this, towards the towards the shoulder muscles, right? Kinda, yeah. Works. It works. It just works. That's it. Nothing else matters. So, today we're continuing the illustration. We're going with the plan, right? So, that's the thing. What was the plan for tomorrow? I don't remember what I've put in on the thing. Oh yeah, sketches! We're going to draw a random character, that's right. On Saturday we're coming back to the game, and on Sunday we're going to do game dev. That's good. I'm planning on, actually during the game dev stream, I'm planning on redesigning the logo of the game a little bit, because it feels like the prototype we have, it's cool, it's okay, but I need to keep in mind that it's going to be pixel art, because the game itself is going to be pixel art, right? So that's the thing. it's whatever, but you know, not really a problem, but I just want to have a nice logo. I've already got something. It's going to be very similar, right? Because I was like, when it comes to the logos and stuff, I tend to like just stare at them and like different ideas come up. It's kind of like when you're focusing on something for long enough, you have this effect that everything around, like the entire, like your whole vision just like blurs out. And I'm having that, and like for example, some elements are looking slightly different, and I'm like, okay, so if I'm seeing those things like this, then I guess it's going to be better to turn those things into those things. So for example, the neck of the dragon actually kind of looks like the dungeon doors, right? So and I had like kind of like dungeon doors with like a dragon kind of coming out of it, I guess. You know, that was the shtick for it. Yep. Yeah, she's going to have the thingies on her. Yeah, like that, because she wears the you know, the gloves, right? I'm thinking of the gloves kind of like that. So if you look at, that's kind of my reference for the thing. If you look at it, you know, you can see that there's like a thickening at the edge. That's why I'm giving most of my gloves this thickening at the edge. That's why they have those like bumps at the end, at the like entry end. I'm not sure if I should be doing all of them like that. I do know that, for example, some doesn't have that, but I'm just adding it because that's what I'm used to. And my, you know, that's just like my base point. Sure, like there's different kinds of gloves, and for sure we're going to like at some point drawing others, but you know, that's the goal, at least for now. Hi always, glad to have you here. How are you? Hope how's it going? Have you been? Haven't seen a while. I have returned, finally. Yes, you did. Hi. Hi, hello. Yeah, you know, today, yeah. Today we're just continuing the drawing, so that's it. I hope you don't mind. Actually, so this is the butt cheek, and this is the butt cheek here, right? So this is, you know, kind of the center of it. It's just going to be like, you know, the material, which is going to be probably like latex or very shiny material anyway, is going to like kind of wrap around here. I'm going to go with the line like this. I've been busy with a Discord tour where I pop in random GC calls and do some drawings and talking. Hey, that's nice. I like that idea. Let's go. And how was it? met cool people. I think I'm giving her a little bit of tummy. Your art looks peak, not gonna lie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel like I still keep on improving, you know? Like, I have this method where I'm taking every single artwork of mine and I'm just analyzing it, what I could be doing better, what not. On the last piece, we figured out that actually it'll be better if I'm going to use the use darker pink, this color, for shading of the skin because of surface scattering and whatnot. I guess with some light, with some shadows, I guess it could be okay to add a different one, like for example the shadow casted by another item, but this subsurface scattering as a basic one is going to be probably the go-to. And then we've figured out that all the clothing and like items, objects can be done with one color too, which is actually going to be this one. So I have two shadow colors now in the art style, and I find it pretty cool. I do find it pretty cool. Let me figure out this. Okay. So, folks, do tell me, come on. Are you working on any projects right now? Complicated but satisfying end result. Yes, exactly. And well, you know, it's just something that that I recommend doing if you want to improve fast on art. It helps you with everything because you're like analyzing every single beat, like, oh, okay, so this is like that, this is like that, and like, for example, with that like stomach area, she's going to look a bit tubby around this section. Around her midsection, she's going to have like, you know, I guess a little bit of a muffin top kind of, you know, tummy. I guess it's alright, but it's not really Mio's design. I guess we can leave it, I don't know. For now, I'm, you know, trying to draw like characters in different like poses. I've noticed that my sketching with the lasso tool kind of messed up, so I'll need to pay a bit more attention to that already. You know, I'm like also trying to constantly self-evaluate no matter what. So that's that. Okay. So yeah, if you do want to improve fast for drawing, I do recommend going for self-evaluation route. You're always going to like look at yourself and be like, well, of course, howdy, hi Juicy, glad to have you here. How are you? Hope it has good. How have you been, buddy? Busy with work? Hope you're right. But hey, huge thanks for the piece, you know, for the request. Actually, Muzumi did liked the artwork, so I'm pretty happy. She looked at it and liked it. I'm glad to see that. I'm really happy whenever, you know, like I'm always in hopes that even if I'm not getting like acknowledgement by any kind of, you know, by the, for example, like, you know, Vtubers and whatnot that I'm drawing, I always hope that they've saw the image and went like, oh, that's really nice, you know? I really like, whenever I'm drawing things like that, I do always hope that it's going to, like, you know, make them happy. And if they leave that, you know, virtual acknowledgement, it's up to them. For me, all that matters is that there's always been like a small potential of, you know, making them happy with the artwork. What else? Weekend is crawling in. Tomorrow I'm going to apply for passports. We'll see if I'll be allowed to leave Poland. Imagine like, nope, you are on no leaving list. That would be crazy. I think it would have to be like criminal to have something like that going on. I do believe that it's always good to have passport on you. I've always believed in that. I always wanted to get one, but you know, it was always difficult to really convince my parents when I was younger to get one. Because you never know. You never know. Just as well, you know, I could have some kind of like, you know, travel abroad. Okay. Just kind of, you know, trying to. I guess, like that? I mean, I guess... Considering, like, you know, how everything bends, this one should be like this, if anything. some muscle groups and whatnot. I don't like those legs. They look way too masculine. I think it's because like I'm wrapping that cheek a bit too much here, and I think I should stretch in this section, this portion a little bit. Well, not stretch, but like move it a little bit, like this. Yeah, because like I'm a little bit different. I've made everything a little bit different compared to what my original reference is, so that's going to cause some issues. And actually, the cheek would have to be like here, yeah. And that leg has a knee here, and it's going to go here because there's like several muscle groups, right? So this is the first muscle group, then there's like another one which is like this, right? And then we have like muscle groups here and here. So in theory, like, you know, those muscle groups are going to deform the leg in a very specific manner. That should go like this, I guess. It's always difficult to really do that. I don't know why. Because to be fair, it goes kind of like this. Yeah, I think I've made... That's the problem. I was making the leg too big. Wait, let me hide the thing. This thing sucks. Like, genuinely, this whole bottom portion of it all is just pretty bad. Because, like, all of that should be, like, kind of sticking out a bit more to the left and be kind of bigger when it comes to the lines. Kind of like this. Yeah, and now it's going to work. Now we have that. We make a cut here. And it goes like this. Kind of. And then we take that and we do the line like this. Okay, and that kind of, and that actually looks like her leg now. No. To be fair, I hate this. I don't like being stuck at places like this. It always feels weird to like stare too long on something like that. But why I can't get it right? I think I've got all of the, you know, all of the things right. It should go like this, then like that. So over here we should have like, you know, the top of it, and so like that like crunch, you know, on the material. And then it should go like this, right? No, because her thing would be like this. So if that's where her scapula is, it will be like this, and actually bend from here, which means that this line should go from here. Like this. And that should hide and go like that. Okay, I think we've got it. Okay. I hope so. It's very difficult. I've messed up my sketch, and it is actually really problematic if you mess up your sketches like that. I can just add portions here to make it look normal. Okay. I don't understand this. Oh, okay, I see what I've done wrong. Hold on. This is like a deep curve, and this was not, so it was causing everything to look a bit weird. Okay. Okay, let's keep it like that, because I'm starting to go mad. Even in such, like, you know, struggling with something like this. And to be fair, back in the days, it wasn't really that problematic. Or rather, on like previous sections, it kind of confirms that, you know, I can't really fix my own issues whenever I'm doing my like under thing. I do need to always make perfect lasso tool sketches if I want to keep doing that. Or else I have to, you know, I'll be forced to change it actually. So it's like, you know, kind of obvious thing to do. Okay, and actually this should go like this, kind of. And dive like that. Okay, that is looking good. That is looking not really that good. I'm not sure why I'm using such a small brush, but yeah. You know what's the worst? Compared to the rest of her body, her legs seem to be too small. Still. I guess let's, I don't know, take that, all of that. Let's cut this shit out. And kind of expand it there. Okay, yeah. It now fits the rest of her body. And if it's that so, then I'm just going to, you know. Hi Wenny, glad to have you here. How are you? How's it going? I believe this is the first time you're around, so hope you find a coffee corner here. How are you? Nice sketch, bro. Thank you. Thank you. We are, as a matter of fact, making couple artworks. So yeah, you know. Right now, so do we have everything, or do you want to add something? Because we need to also fix all. here and there, you know. Are you using the lasso tool for the base before the sketch? Yes, I do. I have a special tool that is like a lasso feel, but it has like, you know, it has like, what, 25% opacity, so I can just stack it one on top of another and it just, you know, makes nice layers. I've kind of messed it up for this one, you know, so I'm kind of trying to fix things, but it's still kind of looking weird, I guess you can say. Yeah, just ever so slightly weird. Are you also drawing, Owen? Oh nice, recently I saw that trick but haven't tried it yet. I have to say it is pretty good. It is pretty good. Yes, I am environmental concept artist. Hey, that's nice. That's cool. I'm not as good with environments, but I've always wanted to be concept artist. Yeah. Let me just split this one. So Mio has a bit like thinner one. So is this illustration for personal project or fan art or commission? It's more of a fan art, yeah. So basically I've moved from being realism artist to anime artist. I've been trying to work out my own anime style here and there. I found Ryotuna, who's actually making works very similar to what I wanted to achieve. I have a couple changes to what I want to it and stuff, but you know, in general concept I'm just, yeah. In general concept I'm just a thing. Hi Luna, got Evi here, how are you? Hope everything is going? I think this is the first time so hope you find a coffee corner here. But yeah, it's like, it's more of like a personal project where I'm trying to... also, sorry, there was a bot actually spamming links. So basically my thing is that I, you know, as it's my personal project to do, because I want to work a little bit more of anime art style with master study of Ryotuna, but I don't really have that many ideas that I can throw in. I'm Devis Moriarty. What up, Luna? I've said hi. How have you been? I've been good. I've been doing good. Thank you. And yeah, like basically the concept is that I'm making fan arts for personal projects, so it's like a mix up of those two. So yeah. Have you been, Luna? Are you also an artist? Do you like drawing? Looks good, no changes are good, and keep your unique compared to others. Thank you. Thanks always. Oh nice, I hope you had fun with these illustrations. Yeah, I do have a lot of fun with them. We've recently also played a little with like trying to get into a little bit different like coloring than usual. So for example, we've got actually I have an offer, may I share it? An offer? Luna, that's really bizarre. I'm not taking offers from others. So I've been like, for example, mostly doing like, you know, personalized like coloring for things. As you can see probably, Owen, sorry, since you're environment concept artist, my environments are not as good. I have aphantasia, which means I'm incapable to actually imagine. I don't see images in my head. And it's very difficult for me to actually like form environments because I don't have that spatial view. Like spatial, not special, spatial view, like space, right? I don't have that spatial view that's necessary for it. That's why I'm a bit, you know, it's very difficult, very difficult. But I'm really good with characters. It's really good. I really love the GG energy here, lol. Yeah. Well, glad to hear. Hi Skylar, glad to have you here. How are you? Hoping it's going. So yeah, that's the thing. So, Luna, you literally came to the artist channel. Sorry, but yeah, like that's yeah. Scammer energy. Okay. So basically, we've then made this as a, you know, a little bit of a nice treat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Man, what a rude one. Yeah, actually. Actually, so we've made this one also, where I was just experimenting because I wanted to check things. So I was checking this color as my shading color, but I've noticed that with this color, the skin gets really like dead looking. It doesn't have life to it. That my usual skin tone like this. This is my this is actually my skin shade color that I'm using usually. So this one gives more life to the skin, and I was like, they call it muddy color. Yes, yes. But also it gives like the skin the appearance of like a dead body, you know, like a dead skin, because like a live skin is going to have some redness to it, some blush, because the blood vessels underneath, the subsurface scattering, right? But mine doesn't have that here. Yeah, like a zombie. Yes, exactly. So basically this one doesn't have that, and it doesn't look good because of that, you know what I mean? So this time with this one, we're going to actually experiment even further and use that, you know, like dark blue color that I'm using to shade like environment, and I mean like, you know, clothing and stuff and things in the background. And then we are going to take the skin shade color to actually shade the skin, basically, to give the more alive appearance to it. Man, I know the struggle. Yeah, yeah, this is it. Hi, Agent, good to have you here. How are you? How's it going? Since I think this is the first time, so hope I find a comfy corner here. Hi, hello. A lot of new faces around. I'm really happy to see that. Left and right, you know, Twitch and YouTube. I'm really glad to see this. I love meeting new people. Also, Skylar, again, thank you for complimenting my tree. Yes, I have this. Those are actually wooden. It's not like the material. The thing is like wooden ply on which the color was made, and the tree is actually like a formed molten iron. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I was like wondering, I believe this one will turn better with the knowledge you gain from experience. Yes, yes, that's why I really love to constantly like reanalyze my artworks after I finish them, because the moment you are coming back to the artworks, it's like, you know, it's like when you're finishing the artwork, it's like, oh, okay, I really like that, and you like walk off for a little while, come back to it, and like, yikes. Yeah. So Mio has like, so now the difference is like Mio has like very sleek face, right? She has like the typical like egg shape kind of thing, while Fubuki actually has like more wider face. She has more wider head, and I want to really show that because we all comes in different sizes and shapes, right? So different faces, like different head shapes, different faces, different eyes, like everything's like, you know, very dependent. That's why I'm also heavily referencing the VTubers I'm drawing usually. I believe, again, I'm yet again stumbling upon the same issue with the Twitch. And Owen, actually, what are your projects that you're working on recently? Anything good? Trying, you know, getting into some illustrative works? I believe it's good to, when you are working in the art field, I believe it's good to, you know, sit down and draw once in a while, something that you enjoy, like something for yourself instead of only for work. If you're only going to draw things for work, it's going to only give you a, you know, a burnout, and that's something we don't want, right? And again, we're going to make one head slightly smaller, but they are going to actually fit together, I guess. Or actually, I feel like, or maybe actually not. Wait. Yeah, like her face is not going to be like that, to be fair. Also, Fubuki is going to look kind of like Pekora. Also, I'm really happy with the with my boarding up finally being done. It was a project, definitely. I was just, you know, kind of aiming for it. I don't know that it's not going to be like, you know, at the best, but and probably still like filled to the brim with bugs and whatnot. Do you have favorite anime style artist that you really love? Definitely Rino Tuna. I generally really enjoy those. How do you call it? I really enjoy those painterly styles because I actually come from like very painterly art styles myself. For example, my most recent one. I'm really like diving into like Baroque and Renaissance styles. I really like very dark things, but anime style is something else that I'm usually going for. So yeah. This one is like, you know, kind of like hobby work. You know what I mean? It's, yeah. Whenever I'm like, you know, yeah. Also, so yeah, like Rino Tuna, for example, right? I really enjoy this one. Well, it's nice on this to go out from your comfort zone, learning something new. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And, you know, especially like when I'm... Quite often I'm finding myself like coming back to realism as a break from anime style because like I've been starting to learn how to draw on realism. And switching to anime style, it's like very different because like the eye proportions are different and whatnot, but still like I see that even though I'm kind of also here and there trying to fight those like, you know, realistic proportions, they're still kind of sneaking in, you know, but I guess it's alright, especially when you're like zooming in really closely. I do believe that it's really fine, you know. So yeah, I'm really hoping that one day I could, you know, just dive into more of a, you know, because, you know, for now I'm just working logistics, although I finished IT technical school. Right, so in theory I'm supposed to be IT specialist, but I've ended up, you know, in logistics. I really hate them. I really do. I'm not a logistics person. I know that, you know, some people are like, you know, Okay, that one's concerning. Oh wait, actually, Fubuki doesn't have ears because she's Kitsune. I've totally forgot about that fact about her. Even though literally the ears are nowhere to be found. On the original thing too. It's Hololive, yeah. We're drawing Mio and Fubuki. To be fair, I'm wondering if some of the artworks I'm making, if I should like add it to my portfolio. Damn, the other eye curse. Why is it hitting right now? What did I do? Also, no, kind of like without the irises. She looks like she's staring at Mio. Sometimes I need to, because like I can't really, you know, for the life of me get those things right. Hey, I need to go, but I have followed you, so see you next time. Thank you, Owen. See you next time. Bye bye. So. We're here. We're slowly going with things. I have to say, like, well, I'm going to try to finish the Fishman Island arc on One Piece that I'm watching. Okay. I'm really focusing a lot on this one. Imagine. The eye can be lower, I think. Yeah, it works. It looks good. Glad to hear. That's nice. I like it. Okay, I definitely made her stare at Mio. Actually, I think those should be a bit different. It's like this. Like this. That should be thinner. Because it's just like a color thing. Okay. Just ever so slowly we are going to, you know, try to progress with things. Yeah. Actually, recently, I've talked with a friend of mine. I have some older friends from art communities I've been sticking around with. And he told me, like, that, you know, recently, as we've talked, you know, just some catching up. He told me that I'm always drawing my characters have clothes. They don't wear them. Hi Trix, glad to have you here. How are you? How's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? A flash tuber. Yes, it is my. After a couple changes, nothing bad. Come on. I'm well, and you? I'm alright. I'm alright. I am absolutely great. Yeah, you know. Just resting after work. And drawing, you know. I was thinking about finishing at least this whole thing. Snagging my cat as he purrs happy on my chest. Let's go. To be fair, I'm kind of starting to wonder what character do you want to draw on tomorrow's stream, because it's like, you know, random character day. I was thinking about starting a sketch of one of those, you know, characters that we have from the requests, but then it would be, you know, a little bit counterintuitive. It should be a random character, either like a random Pokemon as human, or you know, or something like that. This one should have like wider thing. I don't know why, but usually, despite like drawing a lot of female characters, sometimes I'm managing to draw the female characters having like male features, even though they shouldn't. I think this whole color is bad. Yeah, that's how it should go here, I think. Don't like that. Still here, just looking and working. I see, it's okay. I don't know. For some reason, I can't really figure it out. Nah, her torso should be like unfazed in this case. I'm using a bit different method to on top of that thing. just to make sure that whatever I'm drawing is going to be good. Yeah, that's how it should be going. Okay. I gave her like thunder's hips here. Golly, look at that. That's wrong. That's wrong. Oh no. Okay, let's try to get it right. I guess so. This should be like this in this case. And that like this. Yeah, looks better. Okay. So we've got that one, that portion. Sorry, I'm not talking much. You know, it's very weak. Well, what can I say? It's very weak. Weak. If that makes sense. Okay. Imagine those not being like, you know, like sleek gloves, but actually just, you know, like a neutral gloves that you get. Okay, for a second I was like, did I actually mess up her hand right here? You know, like, I really questioned myself just a tiny little bit for this one. I guess I deserve it. I guess I deserve it. Okay, let's merge the things here. So Fubuki is also going to have gloves on herself. Just need to finish that. Okay, I guess it works. Like that. Okay. Well, that looks good indeed. And that is going to go like this, like this, and I can make her thumb like this. And actually it'll be more clever. Because like we're not grabbing things like that, we're grabbing things like that or like that, right? Say, or like we could have hand like squeeze like that because this one finger is going to be higher, right? So it's like going to twist a little and force it up. So that's that. But in reality, we should be grabbing things like this. Like sometimes if you actually might not have an idea how to properly like show the hand or something like that, just try to make the same motion. Okay. Okay. For now, I think we are going to take a break here. Mostly because I need a moment to make sure that everything that I'm drawing here is okay. Like, for example, if those fingers are good or not. I think it's going to actually play a crucial part of it all. Yeah, let me just... You know, just ever so slightly. Just to check. For example. Nah, I think her hand has to be like this. Maybe her fingers not looking like she's good. I'll try this for the past couple years, but you know. Yeah. This one can be like as thick like this. Although unironically, this like Mia's pointing finger and Fubuki's pointing finger are nearly the same width, I think. Wait, let's use my trustworthy method. It's like half of this section, so we're going to take that and let's see. Yeah, it's the same. Okay. Where's for now? Let's do something like that. Let's make like a band here, right? Because basically, like all of us have at least some kind of some fat, no matter like how slim you are. So you know your skin is going to always like kind of like distend here and there. I'm just making a line. You know, the outfit is going to be quite tight, so that's the thing. No. Okay, so in the next stream we're going to finish Fubuki in this case, I think. And yeah, folks, as always, thank you all for actually hanging out with me and seeing me and, you know, watching me struggle with, you know, Mia's rear end. Yeah, as always, thank you all, stay creative, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Take care and